Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Blackstar amps and my experience with the St. James 6L6. Okay guys, so I'm into my 5th week now of spending some serious time with the St. James 6L6. And I thought I'd make a little video to let you guys know how I found the amp over that period of time. Now, as you guys probably guessed from the first video when I plugged in the Blackstar St. James 6L6, I really liked the amp and I was really impressed with the amp. However, sometimes when you get some new gear, you can't wait to try it out and you're excited, and then you plug it in a few days later or a couple of weeks later and the gear doesn't stand the test of time. Sometimes you just go off it, or sometimes you think, it wasn't quite as good, quite as nice as I originally thought it was. What I can say is that the Blackstar 6L6 St. James is just as good now today as it was the first time I ever plugged it in. I absolutely love the amp. The features on there are great and so useful for a modern guitarist. Blackstar have tried to cover every single thing that a modern high-gain guitar player needs all in one package, and I believe that they have done that. There's not much that I would change about the Blackstar 6L6 other than maybe bring out a 100-watt version of it, maybe add a noise gate, and probably also a boost in there as well. I know this is a lot of stuff to cram onto an amp, as the amp already has tons and tons of features in it, especially around the back where the cab rig, the XLR out and the stereo out all happens, especially with the brand new transformer that's super lightweight. All those things, the reverb, there's a lot going on in the amp already, and I totally understand that putting any extras on there would take up room, make the amp very complicated to build, and also on top of that probably will bump up the price quite significantly too. Obviously I'm based in the UK here, so whenever it's a UK amp brand or a UK pickup brand like Bare Knuckle or whatever that I get involved with making videos, I always want the brand to do well because they're from my homeland. As far as amps go here in the UK, we have Victory amps, Marshall amps and Blackstar amps, and luckily all those brands are pretty good at what they do. My previous experience with Blackstar amps was that they were good, they were innovators. I really liked the 1 watt and 5 watt heads, the HT models. I wasn't too keen on the first releases, the first series of Blackstar heads. There was a couple of heads there, I think one was a 200, one was a 100. I wasn't that keen on those for some reason. The HTs then came out, the HT Metal, which was great, the HT Studio, which I've only heard once, I really liked that. The Artisan sounds great, but this thing for me is an absolute killer amp. If you need any proof that I have actually enjoyed using this amp, then you only have to visit my TikTok or Instagram, check out the reels, check out the TikToks on there, and I've used this amp on virtually all of them since I've had it. Definitely the key feature for me of this amp is the fact that we have the cab rig in the back where we can save our cab, and our mic settings to 3 different patches, and we can come out of the head and go straight into an interface, or we can go straight into a camera if we are YouTubers, and we don't need to hook up a load box because it's already built in there. Before I play the amp for you guys one more time, I just want to talk about Blackstar as a company, because I've never had anything to do with Blackstar amps before as a brand, as a company. But what I really want to say is that they are the nicest bunch of people you could ever wish for at any brand. They are so helpful, so forthcoming, they're all over social media, and they talk to regular guitarists that are, let's call ourselves nobodies, like myself, probably like you watching this video now. They are more than willing to talk to you about their products, and I just found them a real friendly bunch of people, and that is real credit to Blackstar as a brand and as a company. When I first got in touch with Blackstar, they offered me all kinds of contacts where I could speak to engineers and things like that. I didn't use them, but it was nice to have that there. I'm hoping that one day in the future I will be able to visit Blackstar, go down there where it all happens, and check them out, talk with them, interview them, and spend some real time with them, because they just seem really genuinely passionate about what they're all doing there. And they're so active on social media that when you look at their social media stats, they are up there in the top 3 as far as amp brands go. Their marketing team are absolutely excellent, and that's why when this amp was first launched, you could not unsee this amp. It was absolutely everywhere, and that is because the marketing team were working so damn hard to make sure that all guitarists saw this thing. Blackstar have got in touch with me, and I am really sad that I am going to have to send this amp back to them. It was only a loan amp for review, and I was lucky enough to have it a bit longer than most, because I like to do more than one video on an amp. I don't like to just film with the amp and then, you know, you never see it again on the channel, or I just put it to one side, especially if it's an amp that I really like. So I'm going to play the Blackstar St. James 6L6 for you for one last time, and I'm going to use the cab rig, and I'm going to come out of the amp and I'm going to go straight into the camera. I'm going to be using a Harley Benton Vintage Overdrive Boost. This is the type of amp for me that absolutely screams out for a boost. It really does react fantastic to pedals in front of it. And that's how I like to use the amp. Enjoy the rest of the video. I'm really sorry I can't show any more of this amp. I've thoroughly enjoyed using it, and I really mean that from the heart. I remember sending an amp back a few weeks ago. It was the Driftwood Mini Nightmare IR. I'd had that for about 12 months. I got really attached to it. Very similar specs to the Blackstar St. James 6L6. Again, you could go straight from the amp to the camera, and that's why it got used so much, and that's how you saw it so much on the channel. I was really sad about sending that back, and I'm equally sad about sending this amp back to Blackstar 2, but this is all part of being a YouTuber and part of the things that we have to do. Sometimes you receive gear and you like it, because let's face it, there's a hell of a lot of awesome new gear coming out all the time now. Sometimes when I get a guitar, an amp, or a pedal, I like it, I think, yeah, that's really nice, that's really cool, I get on with it, but I don't feel sad about sending it back unless I genuinely absolutely love it. And this amp for me is one of those products that I genuinely love, and I will be quite sad sending it back. So without further ado, let's listen to the Blackstar St. James 6L6 for one last time, and let's keep our fingers crossed that I can work with Blackstar again on future products.